Okay guys, we have the basic tools here that I use for sanding and detailing all my chess pieces. I have my Dremel tool, cord abrasive, sanding sticks, various sanding discs, nylon spiral sanding discs, a Scotch-Brite abrasive sanding disc, brass wire wheels, various tips and cutters for detailing and sanding all the detail work. So let's clear the bench and get started. The first thing I'm going to start out with is one of these spiral nylon sanding discs. I like them because it gets all the fuzzies off and all of the little details, and it doesn't knock down any of your finer details. So we sit there and we work at this. We're trying to get off all the little fuzzies that are left from the machining. Some woods are worse than others, so it's just a diligence to get all these off so we can see what we have underneath to work with. Be very cautious around some of the smaller parts when you're doing this power sanding, for the very fact you can get a catch, and at that point in time it could break off some of the more delicate parts like this tail. So work at it very, very cautiously. Just keep working around, knocking all the fuzzies down. Um, this is not too aggressive. It basically, like I said before, just knocks down all of those little fuzzies that we have when we get on some woods. Now I'm going to change over to a pointed milling tip. This is pretty abrasive, and what I'm going after is all of the ridges that are left to where the two halves come together. Some people call them separation mold lines, but it's just that line of the two halves. And usually they're not too difficult to deal with. I take a very small cutter and just work very cautiously and try to bring out the details in those areas and get rid of that ridge. Again, be very cautious around the tails and some of the other small little pieces hanging out there. I'm going to change the tip over to something not quite as aggressive, so I can get into the smaller details. It's a lot smaller, and we'll go at the smaller details now, like the grooves and stuff, so that we can clean them out real nice. Now I'm changing over to my white spiral abrasive disc again to smooth out and clean up where I just got done working on all these mold lines. If you noticed, I've left the bottom of the block on. It acts like a nice handle, so you don't have to be holding on to the piece itself directly. I'm pretty much kind of finishing up all the details, just picking up whatever I missed. I'm getting pretty satisfied with the way it looks, nice and smooth. And this is basically how you're going to have it before you finish it off. So now we're ready to go into the finishing phase. Again, spend as much time that is necessary to get it to the way that you want it. Okay, now I'm ready to put the finish on it. All I use is a rub-on urethane, nothing special. Here I'm using Minwax, wipe on poly, pour some on a rag, and then just rub it in. Most important part is to make sure you just let it really soak in. Some of these woods really are porous and they take a lot of finish. So just keep on putting finish on until it's soaked up as much as it can. Get into all the nooks and crannies and all the places where it's going to soak finish up. Make sure you get rid of all your runs and into all the crevices to make sure that there's no spare finish. And at this point, you're ready to go.